Winslow Homer is a preeminent figure in American art. Early in his career, he worked as an illustrator, editor, and design chief for Harper's Weekly, where he was embedded with Union troops and captured vivid scenes of the American Civil War. But Homer is best known for producing dynamic marine landscape paintings, including masterpieces in watercolor. Many of Homer's great paintings were produced late in his life at a seaside studio in Prouts Neck, Maine. My home in Prouts Neck is a short walk from the Homer studio, and I often hike along the rugged cliffs depicted in Homer's paintings. Recently, I decided to photograph storm surf along the cliffs near Homer's studio to see if I could capture in the same locations images of the kind that inspired his paintings. As I made these photographs, I was aware that Homer, as an illustrator, faced the new and game-changing phenomenon of photography during the Civil War. The challenge of this new technology added to Homer's daring and experimental approach to art in those times, including novel watercolors to capture ephemeral moments.
Homer's oil paintings really come alive at Prouts Neck. One of these very first cliffwalk paintings was inspired because Homer saw two young women dancing in the moonlight, and he painted a large oil painting. It shows the exact landscape in front of the studio in the Ark, and it launches Homer on his career of using the coast of Maine as the centerpiece of his art. The same year that he painted A Summer Night, he painted Winter Coast. It's a dazzlingly accurate portrait of High Cliff from the west, a winter painting, and it's a great example of Homer's love for Prouts when all the tourists had gone away. And so he hangs out into the snows and the storms with great wave patterns, something that became the centerpiece of Homer's art. By 1894, he's moved a little further east. He does High Cliff and Cannon Rock, two iconic paintings that are central to the history of American art. And then following this, over the course of the decade, he moves all the way east to Eastern Point, paints an extraordinary marine landscape. One of the things we discovered when we restored the studio was writing on some boards that Homer created in black chalk. And it sort of says, turn, turn, tumble, 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 turn. He's obviously deeply involved in studying the character of waves. David, your photographs, as you follow Homer's footsteps on the cliff walk, have captured many of the same images and the same dynamics that Homer turned into magnificent paintings. It's quite remarkable how consistently Homer changed his location, looked for subject matter. But finally at Prouts, when he was in his mid-40s, Homer actually found the subject matter that he needed to discover in order to become Winslow Homer. During the last 26 years of his life, he created at least 30 masterpieces inspired by this location. That's really the reason that Homer is America's greatest painter.
I'm grateful to be able to experience the dramatic scenes that inspired Homer. It's important to appreciate that the art he created in his solitary days at Prouts Neck reflects much more than beautiful scenery. The themes of Homer's work are important, complex, and still relevant to our modern lives. He had been an eyewitness to horrific scenes in America's Civil War, and his portrayal of those scenes catapulted him to fame, including his painting, Prisoners from the Front. In post-war America, as a member of the New York art community, he witnessed extraordinarily challenging reconstruction and transformational change, including financial panics, record immigration, racial injustice, class conflicts, and unprecedented industrialization. He was fascinated by the power of nature, especially oceans. And with human struggles with nature, his art reflects this theme. Several Homer paintings depict tumultuous scenes in the Atlantic Ocean. And I wonder how he would use his amazing skills to depict current challenges in our natural world, including ocean health. I offer this video as a modest tribute to his extraordinary contributions to American art, shaped by his experience at a tumultuous time in history. I conclude with this quote from Homer from his time in the Prouts Neck studio: "The sun will not rise nor set without my notice and thanks."